I'm staying with these apparently fleet of equipment videos at these different dealerships. And by the way, I film most of these on like one day's time. But anyway, here's a dealership and they got some big ass tillage tools. This thing is huge. It's a Landau. I think these are called like a VT Plus or something like that. Basically, they're a low concavity disc. And this one here, I don't know what the footage is on it. There it is, VT Plus. I don't know what the footage is on this thing, but it's actually so big, it's actually got offset walking tandems with dual tires. And those are 10-bolt hubs, it looks like. Or maybe it's the giant ass 8-bolt, but anyway, huge. And I've heard good things about these, the way that they seem to operate in the ground. And it looks like a well-made machine. Got the, the hitches. See if I can make sure this is zoomed out, but the hitch is about 12 to 14 feet long. It's just incredible how long that hitch is. And it's got depth wheels and gauge wheels on it, but it's probably at least 40 feet, I'm thinking, wide. I couldn't tell you exact width on it, but quite impressive. This tillage equipment just gets bigger and heavier as time goes along. And I was actually out to look for a combine this weekend. Saw this other dealer along here. Thought, well, let the kids out and run around. And anyway, here's another Landau, another one of these VT Pluses. But look at it, check the tires out of this puppy. Good grief. A lot of these things are going to these real flat, square profile tires, which are real nice. But this one here, holy snikes. This has got some rubber on it. I mean, there's a size 11 boot for you for guys size comparison. That is crazy. BKT tire. Find the size on those or not. Oh, there it is, right there. You can read it. Anyway, huge. Those tillage tools are getting huge. Here's a Landau. It's a big. It's a disc and it's like a ripper. But I mean, these tines here are probably 5/8 or 3/4 inch diameter, and it must be 4.5, 5 feet long. That harrow there's almost identical to the Gates harrow. I bet that is a Gates harrow. But if you watch any of my videos or look back at my older videos, I had a Big G disc for a while, and it was the biggest disc that I can find on the face of the earth. Actually, I did find one bigger. It had 42-inch diameter blades in it. And it had a harrow like that, a Gates harrow on it. You can see some videos of it running. It required a mega tractor to pull it. It had 9560 John Deere on it that would actually kind of run out of power attempting to pull it. Once you get the surface broke and the tractor would get traction, it had R2 tires on it, it'd pull it pretty good, but until then it'd spin. And I had a D8 LGP dozer for a while. It handled it all right. If you had like a D9 R or something like that, it'd walk along with it real well. This is a John Deere disc. It says 30 foot 8 inches. And boy, their discs are so much different than, I think you've probably watched some videos of my, the old disc we bought this year. One thing I never liked that they did though, they put the blades, they have the offset gangs on like ours, and these they don't. They have that one stupid blade in the middle to clean everything up that it misses. But my God, what a difference. We had an old 30-foot 235 for a while. That compared to this, holy crap. We talk about day and night difference. This is unreal. That old 235 was just tissue paper compared to this. And even these harrows are just tremendously heavy. Enormous. I cannot, I cannot believe the size of this tillage equipment. Nice looking disc. Here's a Wishick disc. This should be a model 842T, just off the top of my head. Wishick actually sold that company out a few years ago. I know they got bought out by somebody, but this one here, you can tell it's never been in the ground. But it's getting a lot of shop wear on it. See the hardware and all the frame and everything is actually getting a lot of shop wear. sad to see a brand new piece of equipment just sit out here and just go to hell in the weather. Yeah, this would be about as big a disc as you can really get on the open market, besides, like I say, going to something like that big Jeep. This is about as big a disc as you can find that's, you know, still in that farm line, quote, farm line, I'll use that term loosely, but, oh, 862, okay, so this is a little different. 842 must be a smaller model, maybe, I don't know, have to look them up. Been a long time since I've been researching these. But anyway, well laid out machine. But it's a big, heavy machine. It's bordering on like a construction disc, but it's not a construction disc. But it is one tremendously heavy mofo. So, I mean, you got a pivot system here. That's greasable. There are pivots here, so it pivots off that shaft there, and they must be a. This is your spring, so it's like a rock flex, but they have the pivot here instead of just putting a C leaf spring back there. That C spring or iron there would be for your scrapers. Scrapers are a little different the way they look. Yeah, not like a John Deere. But 385 22.5 truck tires. Huge. Huge hunk iron. So, wow. This farming stuff's just bordering on commercialized anymore. It's just absolutely enormous. That old girl looked pretty good behind that fence though, but hard soils in the hills. It's highly erodible, so you know it's something we wouldn't use. Anybody's curious, we're up in the South Dakota border here, and you know that's something they'd use to get rid of some high residue. But I got a lot of tractors here. I'm gonna check a few of them out and move on down the line to what I was actually gonna come up in this area for. So anyway, stay tuned for that in the mower. Thanks for watching.